I remember a time during my early off in my healing journey, I had um, people speaking over me, or, people, leaders, excuse me. I had leaders that were guiding me, right? That were encouraging me, were filling me up. And it was so challenging because, when I was hurt, and when I was feeling pains, or when I was going through challenges, I'd run to them, or they'd call me right in time, tell me my life story, and speak life into me, right? And speak life into me, and speak word over my life, and just really encourage me. And I remember having such a challenge. So it was so challenging for me to sometimes receive the words, right? And they would say, "Hey, you gotta pray. Hey, you gotta come out from amongst them. Hey, you gotta do something different." And I'm like, "I did that. What? What are you talking about?" Because I don't have understanding, and I don't have discipline, right? Hmm. And without that, I'm not able to actually experience God in the way that I need to allow me to even be open to the word. Even if I've been listening to it for 50 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, I'm bothered. I gotta go back to I got other stuff to do, right? And I'm so conflicted in between, you know, I've surrendered myself to God, and I'm here. But life is happening, right? And it gets so challenging. And I remember those days being so conflicted and being so irritated in the messages because I needed to hear something different. I needed to hear something. Don't tell me what God said. I need you to fix this, right? And man, oh man, oh man, was I challenged or challenging, right? But thank God that He's so faithful that it really didn't waver anybody from doing His work to make sure that I got what was needed, right? And, you know, that part can be so challenging, but, you can overcome it, right? I've overcame it, right? And that was me being on the other side, not actually being, um, having a personal relationship with God, like really investing in God, understanding who He is. They said you have to seek your own salvation. And it wasn't until I actually seeked my own, like, I mean, I went to church and I prayed, but it wasn't until I really dug deep and God was all that I had that I really, really, really got to understand, you know, the warfare and challenges that I was facing, the dark side of things, where I was at, you know, the trick of the enemy, how he had me so gripped. Like God had me, but he was like, hold up, I think I still could do something. I think I still gotta, right? Cause I was mad as hell. I had so many breaking points where, I didn't even want to go into church, right? Because my mom, thank God for her, but she's such a awesome believer in God. She's so faithful. She's so faithful, and that was always the solution to all of everything that's happening in my life. And I'm bothered because these people about to cut my stuff. I'm about to. I don't want. I need. I need you to tell me something different, right? And man, she was so faithful, and everybody else that was assigned to me was so faithful to giving me what I need and allowing God to do what He needed to do in my life, right? Because sometimes you got to get out the way. You cannot, when God is doing something in someone's life and He is doing a great work, it's not for you to come in and add your perfect touches to it, right? It's not always designed like that. God is doing something in someone's life. You may be there just for a message. You may be there to encourage them because, remember, you're at a place where, why is this happening to me? And on the believer side, that knows, they know that God is doing something for you. And it hurts. You're uncomfortable in it, right? But we don't get in the way. We just encourage. We support. But we don't interrupt what God is doing because He's a way maker. He's the miracle worker, right? Because you don't need me to solve your problems, right? God. Now, will He use a human to bless you? Yes, it will. It can come in that form. But when you're healing, every time you have a problem, it's not all set for you to be somebody to just come in and rescue and save and fix everything up for you. Because then you'll miss out on the lesson and the blessing that God had in store for you. Right? When I think somebody was supposed to do something for me, they wasn't supposed to. That was my thinking. That was my entitled thought. That was my that was me from my understanding. But it was meant for me to have that experience where I would have to rely on God and He show who the real source is in my life. You understand? For me to rely on Him and build a relationship with Him and not to worry about man or to follow man. So anyway, I say that to say that God is amazing. He does amazing work. You hear me? Like it's amazing. I just can't express that enough. How what I thought was, the worst time or experiences of my life or the things that I experienced, I no longer see things the way that I used to. And there's such a perfect peace in having God in your life and knowing who He is and just serving Him, right? Such a wonderful place to be. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, anywho, just know that these things are real. It gets challenging, but baby, with God, ain't nothing too hard.